Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I am your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, and today is Wednesday, December 21st, 2022. I'm here today with Mrs. Deb Lutz. Deb, how are you doing today? I know I feel like it's been probably 3 weeks since we've done a podcast together.
Yeah, seriously. It's about time we're back together again.
Yeah, we're back together.
I wasn't originally going to do today, but wanted to jump in. It's a big slate and thought it'd be fun to do it together.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And yeah, we're back for this 11-game slate tonight in the NBA. If you're new to the channel, if you would hit the like button and then go ahead and hit subscribe. That helps us to move up in the algorithm on YouTube. And then after you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when the newest podcast has gone live. So we've got an 11-game slate. A lot of news has been coming in the last couple minutes even. So I don't know if you have all the latest on that, but I've been trying to keep up with it as much as possible. I know the big news that just popped up a few minutes ago was that Kyrie Irving is now listed as questionable. So that's going to be pretty big. Any other major news that you've seen that we want to keep track of?
No, I mean, there's a lot that we want to keep track of. I haven't seen the key things that I'm watching that haven't come through yet. I want to know if Rudy Gobert is playing and Jokic, and you got, I mean, that whole Clippers lineup, everyone's like a game time decision from George to Jackson to Zubac. I mean, 2/3 of their team. So we got a lot of, particularly with the late games, it's going to be tough because we may not have that news before lock. So we'll have to digest some of this and see what games we stay away from and what positions we might leave open just in case we need a quick switch.
Yeah, I'm looking over here to see the very latest. Looks like Gary Trent Jr. was ruled out. Kem Birch is out, and Alex Caruso will play. So that's the
Caruso's going to play. That's a big one for me because I was definitely eyeing Kobe White.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going to affect that play. So let's see who we have here.
Although Dragic is out. Goran Dragic is out. So
Right.
Kobe will still be scored off the bench probably.
Yeah, David, I know you've been going through it for a while. Glad to have you back. Glad you're feeling better. Justin Jennings, I think. Do you recognize that name, Deb? I'm thinking he might be new.
You know, I thought so too, but I saw him. Yeah, he was on yesterday. So good to see you again, Justin.
Yeah, good to see you again. King of Smack, welcome back. Damian Darby, happy birthday, Damian Darby. Today is his birthday. So
no way. It's my husband's birthday too.
We got to come through big time for Damian tonight, Coach.
And it's my husband's birthday also, so we are going to smash tonight.
A lot of birthdays out there. Yeah. So happy birthday to all the December babies out there. And Damian is a coach, so we got a happy birthday for Coach Darby. And let's see who else is out here. Shanna, how's it going, Shanna? And I think that's it. So let's go ahead and get into this slate. The first game we have is going to be my Milwaukee Bucks against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland is favored by 2.5. It has a very low over-under of 216.5. We have Chris Middleton is listed as doubtful. Lamar Stevens, I believe he's out. Ricky Rubio's out, Dean Wade is out, and Dylan Windler is out. So Isaac Okoro is going to start for the Cavs. Marjon Beauchamp is projected to start for the Bucks. So their projected starting lineup is Drew Holiday, Marjon Beauchamp, Grayson Allen, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez, and then for the Cavs, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. So in this first game here, Deb, who stands out to you as anyone in particular stand out to you as a top play? I know it's a low over-under, so probably not going to get a lot of ownership in this game.
You know, I could see this being the Eastern Division Finals here. I like these two teams.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, I know you do.
Right.
I really do, and I think this is going to be a hard fought game. But honestly, it's going to be an awesome game to watch, but not my favorite game to play.
Yeah.
Lowest total on the slate at 216, and you do have Middleton probably not playing, but even so, I just think it's going to be some good defense, and I'm not really targeting, maybe in a GPP. I kind of like Garland, and I kind of like Allen in a GPP.
Okay.
But I'm really not targeting a lot in this game, to be perfectly honest. How about you?
Yeah, I'm not either. I mean, Giannis had 61.8 DraftKings points his last time against them on November 25th. They're pretty much like top 5 against most positions. They have been about average, a little below average at 14th most fantasy points to power forwards. But I mean, even at 61.8 at 12.4, that's just barely getting 5x. So I don't think that salary on DraftKings is really doable. At 11.5 on FanDuel, I like that a little bit better. That's the one site I think I might play him in a tournament, but I don't know if I'm going to get to him at all. I think Bobby Portis is a decent play. He's 6,800 on DraftKings, 6,900 on FanDuel, $20 on Yahoo. The statistics don't really match up for this, but I do like Donovan Mitchell. I just have a gut feeling about him tonight, so I do like him a little bit. Drew Holiday is, always tough, but to me, I've watched a few of the Bucks games, and he hasn't been quite the lights out defender that he normally is. He struggled a little bit against Luka, and so these top tier point guards like Mitchell and Luka and those kind of guards, they can definitely have some success. So I do like Mitchell. Maybe Giannis.
And it's funny you say that, because I was debating. The reason I picked Garland over Mitchell was because I thought that Mitchell would be guarded by Holiday.
Yeah.
And so if you had Garland going up against Beauchamp or Javon Carter or Grayson Allen, whoever they put in there, I thought, he had a better shot. But
right.
But I agree with you. Particularly Milwaukee's always weak against the 3-point shots. That's their big weakness. So
yeah. They've tried to be a little bit. They've tried to adjust their defense a little bit this year to be better against the 3-point shot. But they're still, their bread and butter is defending the paint. So you definitely want to attack them more in the perimeter than, inside. So if you're going to play any of the Cavs, I would probably play either Mitchell or Garland with the guards. I don't really see the bigs going, that monster game against Lopez and Portis and Giannis. It's really tough to do that. I get the Jared Allen play though, because he doesn't have to necessarily score points to be able to be effective. So yeah,
I agree there.
Next game, we have the Detroit Pistons at the Philadelphia 76ers. This game also starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia is favored by 12. Has a 223 over under. We have a projected starting lineup for Detroit of Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, Bojan Bogdanovic, Isaiah Stewart, and Jalen Duren. For the Sixers, James Harden, DeAnthony Melton, Matisse Thybulle, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid. So Killian Hayes is actually listed as questionable. Looks like he's really, leaning towards maybe he's not even going to play at all. So that would open up some potential for Corey Joseph or Alec Burks. Isaiah Livers is out, and then Tyrese Maxey's still out for the Sixers. So do you think this game is going to stay close enough that we can get anything out of it, or do you think it's a pass?
Yeah, that's the key thing. I mean, this could really be a blowout, particularly if Hayes sits. That being said, it's been a weird year in the NBA. And there really haven't been a lot of blowouts.
No.
And a lot of times, the team that you expect to blow out loses.
Right.
So I think, this for me is a little bit riskier to take the big guys. But, Embiid is going to dominate here. Duren's been playing really well, but he's just undersized. Duren and Stewart are both really undersized. Embiid. And I think, Embiid's put a couple of quotes out there that he really needs to dominate in order for them to win. He's got to take the team on his shoulders.
Right.
So I see him really, just lights out for, even if it's 3/4 of a game, he could still get 60 fantasy points.
Yeah,
so,
I like Embiid as well. He's 11.5 on DraftKings, 11.9 on FanDuel, and $54 on Yahoo. So very similar pricing to Giannis. He's actually cheaper than Giannis on DraftKings. Yeah. So as a pay up, I definitely think Embiid is in play. What do you think about James Harden? Do you like him with Maxey?
Yeah, I do. I mean, again, this backcourt situation for Detroit, they're one of the worst against guards. So, yeah, I do. I like Harden as well, although I definitely will not be playing both Harden and Embiid.
Right.
It's going to be one or the other. And I'm leaning towards Embiid right now.
Okay.
On the other side of things, I rode Ivy last night in GPP and he smashed. I like Ivy again tonight. They need offense from somewhere. And, with Cade out, this is really kind of Ivy's team now. And I think he's starting to live into that a little bit. And he's played really well the last couple of games. And, not the easiest defense in Philadelphia, but I think he's going to be aggressive and have pretty high usage. And I think he's still relatively inexpensive. So I do like Ivy. You mentioned Burks. I think if Hayes sits, I like Burks as well. I rode Knox yesterday instead of Burks, and he was okay. Didn't do too well. But I would say Knox would be the second guy there Burks would be the second guy there on Detroit. But I'm really not gonna have too much from this game. Maybe two guys.
Yeah, it's a low over under, or it's a blowout, potential pretty high at 12. Phillies favored by 12. I like Harden as well. I also like Tobias Harris a little bit. He's 6,600 on DraftKings. I don't like him as much on FanDuel at 7,500, 26 on Yahoo. So DraftKings and Yahoo, I like his price over there. Detroit's allowed the 5th most fantasy points to power forwards. Obviously, the concern is it possibly blowing out. But, I don't think 6,600 or 26 is bad at all for Tobias Harris. He's usually in like the 8K range, or has been in recent years. I also like DeAnthony Melton. Detroit's allowed the 5th most fantasy points to point guards. And with Tyrese Maxey out, I think he's still in play a little bit, probably going to be pretty low owned. He's 6,300 on DraftKings and FanDuel and $23 on Yahoo. I'm not sure I'm going to get to anyone in this game, honestly, but those are the plays that I would look at if I was going to look at this game. So the next game is the Chicago Bulls at the Atlanta Hawks. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Atlanta's favored by 5.5. It has a pretty high over-under at 236.5. I think that might be the second highest on the slate. As I mentioned, Alex Caruso is going to play, so they have him now in the projected starting lineup. It's Caruso, Levine, DeRozan, Williams, and Vucevic. For the Hawks, you have Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, Bogdanovich, DeAndre Hunter, and John Collins. So
this is the most attractive game to me.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys I like here. I think the pricing's right on a number of guys. I think it's a high-scoring game, not great defenses on either side. I am bummed that Caruso's in, although, I don't know how healthy he is. Maybe he's worth taking a shot at, because I was looking at Kobe White, but I may swap that to Caruso instead, although he's just not a great points per minute guy. But I really like a number of guys in this game. I think Levine, particularly on FanDuel, is way underpriced. He's at 6,900. He's potentially getting Murray's defense, which is really tough. But he is pretty cheap. DeRozan, on the other hand, fairly priced, 8,400, but I like him a lot. He scored 60 fantasy points against Atlanta when they last met, and so he could go off again.
That was only 10 days ago. That was December 11th, so it hasn't been
right. Very recent.
Yeah.
Patrick Williams. I'm not normally a Patrick Williams fan. Again, not a great points per minute guy. But the key thing here is that both Green and Jones are out.
Right.
So those are the three guys who play the power forward positions, Jay Green and Derek Jones, and they're both out. So he could get 40 minutes. And at 40 minutes at, he's 4,500 on FanDuel. At 40 minutes, he could definitely hit value there. So I do like Patrick Williams. And frankly, I like Vukovic as well. Capella's out. Collins is not as strong of a defender. And so I see Vukovic, particularly in cash games, going for a cool 40 points. So I like a lot of guys on Chicago. The toughest thing is going to be picking which ones to pick. And then I like the other side of the ball as well, because I think Murray's back now. He's got at least one game under his belt. And I actually think he's going to have a good game tonight, better than Trae Young. Bogdanovic is still decently priced. He's playing that starting small forward now, and I think he scored over 35, 36 points the last time these two teams met as well.
So. Yeah.
And then Okongwu, he's going to get good minutes since Capella's out, and he's an inexpensive play if you want to pivot on the center position.
Yeah, I like Okongwu as well. See if there's anybody else. Did you say you like John Collins or no? Did you mention him?
He's probably the one guy I didn't mention.
Okay.
No, yeah. You know what? I'm not a fan. He's he never looks like he's given it 100%, and shows up a lot in the scoring, in the DFS scoring as well.
Okay. I do like Collins a little bit. I'm with you on Okongwu. I think he's a nice, basically a value play at 4,900 on DraftKings, 15 on Yahoo, 5,200 on FanDuel. So it's like a borderline value over there. But I like the same plays that you mentioned. DeRozan's probably my favorite on the Bulls. And then Vucevic, with Capella out, like you mentioned, John Collins isn't a great defender. And I think that he can definitely do some damage down the paint. And then I think the Williams call is brilliant. I wasn't really even thinking of that, but with Javonte Green and Derek Jones both being out, like you said, he's probably going to get like 40 minutes. So that's a really nice call for GPPs. I like that a lot. So, all right. The next game we have is the Indiana Pacers at the Boston Celtics. It starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Boston is favored by 10. Has a 233 over under. I know Boston hasn't been playing that great of late, but they are favored by 10 here. So anything in this game that you liked? To me, the only play I really like in this game is Jaylen Brown. This game is looking like a pass to me.
Yeah. I was kind of struggling to figure out what I wanted here. Although I will say the other thing I like is, if Marcus Smart fits, I really like the Brogdon narrative, right? He's coming back to Indy. That's the team that really gave up on him. And, I could see him playing well.
True.
Although I guess it's in Boston, but it is against Indy. So.
Yeah, against his old team. Yeah, I like that. I do like that narrative. There's not really a major injury. Well, actually, Marcus Smart's out for Boston. So that would be the major injury news in this game. The other injuries are secondary players like Kendall Brown and Daniel Theis are out. And then, of course, Gallinari is still out. So we move on to the next game. We have the Golden State Warriors at the Brooklyn Nets. Normally this would probably be a marquee matchup, but there is a ton of players that are out for Golden State. Steph Curry, Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green, Andre Iguodala, of course, Klay Thompson, and Andrew Wiggins. Those guys are all out. And then Kyrie Irving is questionable. So you could be looking at, probably 5 or 6 role players playing some pretty heavy minutes in this game.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of a mess. And they got blown out last night by the Knicks. I do like some of these role players. I think it's hard to pass up. I really like Ty Jerome. You know, even though he's coming off the bench, I've been watching him a couple games where he gets minutes. He's got a lot of confidence. I think the team relies on him a little bit more of a veteran. And so I'm interested in Jerome. I am interested in Moody with him moving to the starting lineup.
Right.
So particularly on DraftKings, he's just way too cheap at 3,300. You know, getting starter minutes.
Yeah.
You know, all he needs to do is hit a 20, and we're in good shape. Kind of the same thing for Kuminga, although hard to play them both again. You know, but you know, outside of Poole with Thompson sitting, because Thompson played last night. With Thompson sitting, I mean, there's just nowhere, you know, who's going to take shots? We know that Green and Looney don't take shots. So I think Kuminga and Moody, who are both offensively minded, are going to do it. So I do like those three on the Golden State side. Great value. And then on Brooklyn, I had nobody except now with Kyrie out, I got to pivot to Durant because, you know, I mean, he's going to be all that usage as long as Golden State somewhat stays in the game and he gets, you know, 30 plus minutes. You know, he's going to rival, you know, he's in the same price point as LeBron and Tatum. You know, he's cheaper than Giannis and Luka. So I think he's a really good play tonight.
Yeah, I think so too. I was just thinking, you know, he can definitely get you 60 fantasy points, and he's in the 10 range instead of paying, you know, $12K for him. So I think that's a good pay up play. And then on the Golden State side, it's just kind of a guessing game. You know, I don't really know who I want to play. Maybe Jordan Poole, but I figure he'll probably be very chalky. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, I would think he probably would be. So, yeah, this game has definitely lost its luster because of all the injuries for sure. The next game we have at 7:30 p.m. Eastern is the Toronto Raptors at the New York Knicks. The Knicks are favored by 1.5. It's another lower over-under at 218. Precious Achiuwa, Kem Birch, Otto Porter, and Gary Trent Jr. are out for the Raptors. Quentin Grimes is questionable, leaning towards not playing, and then Obi Toppin is out for the Knicks. The projected starting lineup for the Raptors is Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Christian Koloko. For the Knicks, you have Jalen Brunson, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson.
I just don't like this game. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It feels like it's going to be low scoring. You know, your best players, Siakam and Randall, are going to be battling each other. You know, they could both do well, but Siakam's really high priced, over 9K. I just don't see him getting value against the Knicks. I think Brunson's good D on VanVleet. You know, Newbie and Barnes are good D on Barrett and Reddish. Like, I don't feel good about this game at all. I'm actually going to totally stay away from it.
Okay, just a complete pass for you. There's one play I'm looking at. I just want to see if it's anything recent because, yeah, he hasn't played him this year yet. You mentioned Jalen Brunson's defense. VanVleet has had quite a bit of success against the Knicks, but it could definitely change with Brunson defending him.
Yeah.
He's somebody I had here because he's averaged 51.1 DraftKings points the last 5 times he's faced them. So, and they have actually allowed the 6th most fantasy points to point guards. So I think it's worth a shot, especially on DraftKings and Yahoo. He's 8,300 on DraftKings, $33 on Yahoo, 9,700 on FanDuel. I definitely won't be paying 9,700 for Fred VanVleet. And then Julius Randle, I think, is still in play. He's 9,200 on both DraftKings and FanDuel and $38 on Yahoo. But not a whole lot here that I really like. So we can move on to this.
So many games, you know.
Yeah, we've got 11 games, so we don't have to dive over, you know, plays that we don't really like and feel confident in. So 8 p.m. Eastern, we have the Orlando Magic at the Houston Rockets. Orlando's favored by 1. This game has a 223.5 over under. For the Magic, Franz Wagner is questionable. Then you have Carter Harris, Isaac Okiki, and Suggs are out. And then Garrison Matthews and Jason Tate are out for the Rockets. The projected starting lineup for the Magic is Markelle Fultz, Franz Wagner. Like I said, he's questionable, so we'll have to see if he actually plays. Paolo Banchero, Bol, and Mo Wagner. And then for the Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, Eric Gordon, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. So this game should be a better game from a DFS perspective. Probably, I think it'll be one of the higher scoring games on the slate, but we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be up there.
I agree
with the other two Magic, or not the Lakers and Kings, and what was the other one that had the high over under? Indiana and
Atlanta, Chicago. Yeah.
Atlanta and Chicago. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it'll definitely be one of the higher scoring games. So who stands out to you in this game? And then,
I mean, I kind of like Fultz. I haven't. What's his pricing? Not too.
57 on DraftKings, 66 on FanDuel, and $18 on Yahoo.
Yeah, so FanDuel's too high, but DraftKings isn't bad. He's a little. I mean, he's fairly priced. I'm probably, not going to go to him just because there's a lot of other great options. I do like Banchero on Yahoo. I found pricing to be particularly good there. And over on Houston, I like Green in this position, and I like Sengun. But it is a decent game with a good spread, tight spread. So I think you will get a lot of scoring. But I'm going to go, moderate here, probably one player from each side. But pricing wise, this wasn't one of the more attractive games to me.
Yeah, I agree. I do like Banchero. He had 46 DraftKings points against Houston earlier this year on November 7th. Fultz does have probably one of the best matchups on the slate because Houston's just been terrible against point guards. They've allowed the most fantasy points to point guards. 5,700 on DraftKings, $18 on Yahoo are the two that I would target. Like you said, FanDuel's too expensive at 66. Jalen Green and Kevin Porter, you probably play one of the two. They both had 49 fantasy points last time they played against the Magic, which is on November 7th. They're both right around the same price. Green, 7,200 on DraftKings, 7,400 on FanDuel, $26 on Yahoo. Porter, 7,100 on DraftKings, 7,400 on FanDuel, and $27 on Yahoo. So they're literally almost the same price. So you could pick one of those. And then Sengun, 5,700 on DraftKings. I like that. He's 6,400 on FanDuel and $22 on Yahoo. So,
I do think it's interesting. I think when these teams have played each other, the scores have been high. I think it's interesting that Vegas is not forecasting a high score. It's only 2.3, which is not, which is kind of one of the lower ones. So, just something to think about, to the folks listening in that Vegas may know something here.
Right. Yeah, they might know something that we don't know on the surface.
I guess we got to rush it along here, right?
Yeah, really, because we got to post our lineups. So
yeah.
All right, so Dallas Mavericks at Minnesota Timberwolves, 8 p.m. Eastern. Who do you like in this game?
I like Luka against Minnesota. I really do. I like Wood. With Kleber out, Wood and Dory, Finney Smith, who can play some power forward. I think Wood's going to play more minutes finally. So I like both of those guys. And on the Minnesota side, to me, it depends on what's going on with Gobert. I go right to Reed if Gobert is not playing.
Yeah.
And then, sneaky wise, possibly, I mean, it's crazy. Coach, don't yell at me, but, Bertans or Powell, just because it is Minnesota, their defense sucks. And although with Gobert in, it's a lot better. So
right.
In general,
but if he's not out there, I mean, he may not be out there. So yeah,
exactly. So if he's not out there, I'm tempted to go with again, min salary Bertans or Powell.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. I like a lot of the same plays. you know, Finney Smith is out, so you could look at, I think, Tim Hardaway a little bit. But that would probably be, you know, the plays that you mentioned would probably be the same plays that I would like as well. Cool. The next game we have is also at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Portland Trailblazers at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Besides the obvious plays with like the Damian Lillards and SGAs and stuff like that, anyone else that stands out to you in this game?
This is another game that doesn't excite me too much. Possibly Jeremy Grant. He's been smashing.
Yeah.
I want to see where he stands. It looks like he's going to play. So that might be about it. If Nurkic sits, you could go to Eubanks because OKC is really bad against centers. But that's about it.
Yeah, it looks like Eubanks is actually, well, he's probable. Okay. So he's probable and Nurkic is questionable. It looks like leaning towards Eubanks starting, but we'll have to see what happens there. The last two games, then we move from the 8 p.m. Eastern to the 10 and 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So 10 p.m. Eastern, the Los Angeles Lakers at the Sacramento Kings. You've got Anthony Davis out and Russell Westbrook are, you know, Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook are both out for the Lakers. So, besides LeBron,
another game I like a lot.
The highest owned player on the slate, I would think, you know, one of them for sure. Anyone else that stands out to you in this game?
Yeah, I like Schroeder a lot. I think, again, you know, looking at who's going to get shots up and usage in that lineup, Schroeder played real well his last game out, fairly priced. And I like on the Sacramento side, I like the big guys, Fox and Sabonis. I mean, you know, Sabonis against Thomas Bryant does not scare me. Sabonis is playing great.
Yeah.
And Fox is playing really well also. So
true.
I'm going to spend up in this game.
Okay. I like it. And as you mentioned, we are running short on time, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the last game. It's the Charlotte Hornets at the Los Angeles Clippers. You've got Terry Rozier's game time decision. Caleb Martin, I always get these guys confused. Which team plays which? Cody Martin is out, and Dennis Smith Jr. is out. And then Norman Powell is a game time decision, but looks like he's probable now. Paul George, Reggie Jackson, and Ivica Zubac are all questionable. So
who do you like in this game?
Yeah, so I like LaMelo Ball. I think if Zubac sits, man, I don't even know who their backups would be for the center position. Do you know who it would even be?
Yeah, seriously, Covington or something.
Don't they usually play like Batum at center? Like,
yeah, exactly. They play Batum, Covington,
Nicholas Batum at center. Right. So I guess if Zubac is out, you could look at Batum. I mean, he seems like he's 1,000 years old, but he always seems to perform whenever they put him out there. So, and he, you know, gets extra minutes. So you could look at him. Charlotte's not a great defensive team. I mean, I think that this game is pretty interesting because it's either probably going to blow out or it could be pretty close game, depending on who all plays.
I'll tell you who I do like. I like Richards, the center of Charlotte. He's been playing great
Nick
ball.
Richards.
He's almost getting
Nick Richards. Yeah. What's his pricing like? I don't know off the top of my head.
5,600 on FanDuel. He's only like 10 or 11 bucks on Yahoo, which is great. So he's someone to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. So do we want to do FanDuel, GPP, Yahoo GPP, or DraftKings Core?
Let's do FanDuel. Do we have time?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right.
We'll have time.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. I'll let you have the first pick.
All right. One sec. Got to get a lineup here. Okay.
So we just got the Mason Lewis, Kyrie Irving's out.
Okay. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go with Richards as center.
Oh, wow. First pick, Nick Richards. Okay. I'll go ahead and take Durant then with Kyrie out.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to take LeBron.
Okay. At small forward?
We'll put him at power forward.
Power forward. Okay. Do you have Durant at power forward as well?
I have him at small forward.
Okay. Yeah, the news is just piling in now. Quentin Grimes is out.
Yeah, Beauchamp is starting.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I like the narrative about Malcolm against his old team. I'm going to take Malcolm Brogdon at shooting guard.
Shooting guard? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with Schroeder at point guard.
I'm going to take the other guy you mentioned because I do think both Green and Jones are out. So Patrick Williams at power forward.
Nice. All right. And let's go with Kuminga at small forward.
Okay.
Two spots left.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to take Moody with what's his face out, DiVincenzo.
Oh, you're going to leave a lot of money for me, huh?
9,100.
Wow. Yeah. I'm feasting on DeJounte Murray.
Okay.
DeJounte. Although, I don't know. We do have
you got De'Aaron Fox,
Mitchell,
Donovan,
right? Mitchell?
Yeah. Mitchell, the guy that we said we had a good feeling.
Go ahead. You said Mitchell is going to be huge, right?
Yeah. As much as I hate to say that, I do.
Let's do it.
All right. So we've got Donovan Mitchell. What just happened to my lineup? It just disappeared. Hang on. Okay.
It is. I'll tell you. It's Donovan Mitchell and Schroeder, Brogdon, Moody, Kuminga, Durant, LeBron, Patrick Williams, and Nick Richards.
All right. There's a true GPP. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really good. We're not going to have time to get to our PrizePicks plays. That's for sure. So we'll have like 3 minutes. We'll post our lineups.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, all right.
All right, guys. Good luck today.
And we'll be back again tomorrow. We look to crush it in NBA DFS and PrizePicks. Thank you.